So, you clicked on this video because you saw the letter J, right? Or maybe you felt that invisible but undeniable tug on your attention the second you scrolled past that title. And that's exactly what this is about. Not just a letter, but a presence, a situation, a specific energy that has been humming in the background of your life, like a frequency you cannot quite turn, but know it's there. We're not talking about a simple text message or a surface level, they will reach out kind of moment. This is about looking directly at the source code of someone's distance, at the silence that's been occupying the space in your chest, and finally understanding what it's been trying to say. The universe isn't subtle with us. And today the story is already screaming its first revelation before we even sat down to look at it. This isn't about a phantom. It's about a person, someone who is flesh and bone but feels like they have become a ghost in their own life. The quiet, the pulling away, the way they used to be so present in the room, and now they feel like they are in a completely different dimension, even when you're in the same time zone, zip code. That's the shape of what we're talking about. And you know exactly the person who comes to mind when you felt that. They have pulled back, retreated into a space that has nothing to do with geography and everything to do with the mind. It's not about them being busy or tired. It's about them having gone internal. They got this idea in their head that the only way to deal with whatever is waiting on them was to go quiet, to pull themselves out of the flow of things so they could figure something out. It's like they are in their room with the door closed, working on a project they haven't told anyone about, and they don't want to be disturbed until they know what it is they are building. That's the first piece, the bedrock of this whole thing. They are in their own head, trying to make sense of everything, of something massive. You can feel them standing in front of the view, looking out at a vast horizon, holding their life in their hands, map they quite told properly. That's the energy. The person who's holding the world in their hands, trying to decide whether to stay where they are or to go somewhere entirely new. It's that feeling you get when you are standing on the edge of something and you don't know if the next step is forward or back. And this person, Jay, has been living in that exact space for a while now. 1 foot in, 1 foot out, perpetually on that threshold, turning something over and over in their head like a puzzle piece they cannot find the shape for. They are not committed to their current reality, and they are not gone yet. They are just stuck in the swing of the door. The cost of that is heavy. It's not an easy thing to sit with. You have to imagine for a second what it feels like to be in their head. Picture the dead of night, 3 a.m. The world completely silent except for the sound of your own blood pumping. The ceiling becomes your screen, and it plays every possibility, every worst case scenario, every fear you've never told anyone. That's where Jay has been residing lately. It's not about being busy, it's about being haunted by a thought. If they have been distant, if they have been hard to reach, if they have felt like a different version of themselves, it's not because they stopped caring, it's because something has been eating at them. Something that lives in those hours of the night when there is nothing to distract you from the enormity of it. They have been lying awake, their mind spinning, staring at the dark, and that's where this secret has been brewing. And there is a feeling there, an undeniable feeling. It's like a liquid in a vessel that wants to pour out, but it's being held back. There is a hand on that vessel, keeping it steady, keeping it from spilling over. You can feel the emotional gravity of it, something that wants to be expressed, a truth that wants to be born, but something is holding it steady. It's just this sense of fullness that needs to be released, but the thing isn't right, or the courage just isn't there yet. That's the blockage. The feeling is real, it's authentic, but it's blocked. And you have felt that cork. You felt that something isn't flowing the way it should. The communication isn't happening. The connection feels diluted. But here's the crucial part. This isn't a permanent state. This isn't a dam that will never break. The waiting you have been in, the limbo you might feel trapped in, is a temporary holding pattern, not a destination. Not. Think about a wheel, a massive ancient wheel. It moves slow, but when it turns, it shapes the whole world around it. And that wheel is starting to move. The inertia that has been holding everything in place is being disrupted. Something is shifting in the background, like tectonic plates greening because beneath the surface of the life. The quiet is about to be broken. It's not a question of it, but when the energy shifts, and we are already feeling the vibration of that shift in the air, the script is being rewritten. But what exactly is this thing they are hiding? Is it a secret like in a movie or a dramatic reveal with plot twists? Or it is something more human, something that just hasn't found the right words yet? When we look at that shape of it, what we see in the mind, overflowing with options. It's like standing in front of a huge display of choices, each one representing a different future, a different path. One leads to a castle of dreams, another to a snake pit of fears, another to jewels of ambition. It's overwhelming, exhausting to look at. And Jay has been carrying around this exact overwhelm. Too many possibilities, too many versions of what could happen next, and not enough clarity of which one is real, is the real one. Authentic path. They are drowning in maybes. Beneath all that noise, all that static, there is one specific thing, one feeling that keeps getting buried under the pile of questions and fears. Is the most important thing. They want to say something, a part of them, a bold part wants to just change. change something, the part that wakes up at dawn and says, enough. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to say the thing, take the risk, be brave. That's the energy impulse inside them. There is a real tug of war happening inside this person. One part wants to charge in, say the thing, do the brave thing. Be loud about it. The other part wants to retreat. Stay quiet. Keep it locked away where it feels safe. It's a war of lightning versus a shield. And for a lot of you, this is clearly about feeling for someone. Something they have been carrying that they haven't said out loud. They might have even convinced themselves not to say it. Because speaking, it changes things. It changes. And change can feel like a hurricane when all you've known is a safe, predictable coast. They are terrified of the transformation. It's that fear of crossing a line and not being able to undo it. It's the fear of placing something in your hands that you could reject. It's the vulnerability of exposing a part of themselves they have kept guarded. This could also feel different, but the truth, one that's not just about the future. It could be something from the past, a decision they made without you knowing, something they carried alone because they were scared of how you'd look at them if they admitted it. A version of a story they didn't include you, or a perspective they kept to themselves because they feared your reaction. It's about moving away from something painful, but doing it quietly, slowly. It's like a boat gliding over water, trying to be as silent as possible, trying not to leave ripples that anyone can see. They are leaving something behind. They are transitioning your version of their old self. This secret is connected to living. Either they have already left something, a place, a relationship, a belief, and they haven't told you the full story of why, or they are planning to leave something soon. They might be preparing to step away from a situation they have outgrown, and they haven't found the courage to the words to tell you yet. This is a significant piece of the puzzle, and it weighs heavy. But the fact that you are feeling this, that you are seeing this, that you are resonating with it, is the point. Why now? Why is this surfacing for you now? At this exact point in your life? The timing of this is crucial because it's not a coincidence. This is not random static. It's a signal being sent at exactly the right frequency for you to receive it. The answer to why now is really about a cycle of growth. Someone who is in a season of figuring things out, slowly and carefully planting seeds rather than expecting instant results. We're not talking about someone who is about to blurt something out impulsively tomorrow morning. This is someone building up to it. They have been quietly preparing, maybe without even fully realizing that's what they were doing. It's like laying down the bricks for a foundation, one by one, until the structure is stable enough to stand on. They are preparing the ground. It's not about them suddenly finding courage out of nowhere. It's about circumstances leaning up, a conversation happening naturally, a moment presenting itself instead of being forced. It's about the right conditions. When the ground is steady and it is ready, actually, not just when they feel brave. This is a dedicated, repetitive effort happening on their part, a quiet labor. They are working with their head down, focused, almost obsessively refining something until it's ready. They are rehearsing, preparing, and waiting for the precise moment. We're not talking about days here. We are talking about and looking at a window of weeks, maybe a few of them. Something is being worked on, refined, sharpened, and once it's ready, it's going to come out. And what happens after? That is the real question, isn't it? Not just knowing that something's being hidden, but knowing that it means what it means for you once it isn't hidden anymore. What is the consequence of this silence finally breaking? Imagine the feeling of waking up after a night of fever dreams to a perfectly clear morning. That's the emotional landscape waiting on the other side of this. It's hope after hardship. The sky clearing after a storm. It's the feeling of water pouring back into the ground, nourishing what was dry, replenishing what was empty. Whatever comes out, whatever this hidden, this thing turns out to be, it leads somewhere healing. It doesn't destroy things. It doesn't blow everything up. It actually brings relief. That is the part you absolutely need to hear. The most crucial piece of information in this entire puzzle. Whatever Jay has been sitting on, the thing that's been eating away at their sleep and keeping that emotional river blocked, when it finally slips out, it's not going to be the disaster your anxious mind has been imagining. It's a beginning, not an ending. It's a birth, the birth of something new, a shift from the darkness of the unknown into the light of truth. You are going to feel a deep sense of completion, emotional fulfillment, a sense of exhaling after holding your breath for way too long. This is the feeling of looking at a rainbow after a storm, that deep contentment, the sense of things finally clicking into place the way you always hoped for. They would, even when you stopped letting yourself hope for it. Especially in that moment. You have likely been protecting yourself from the possibility of a good outcome because hope started to feel dangerous. It felt safer to expect the worst, to brace for disappointment, to imagine the worst case scenario, so you wouldn't be caught off guard. You have been armor plating your heart because you couldn't stand to be vulnerable again. You thought you could protect yourself by expecting the worst. And that's a natural instinct, a defensive mechanism you build to keep yourself safe. Moment of truth. I have lived that exact instinct myself more times than I would like to admit. But the signals are coming through loud and clear, telling you that you can let your guard down a little. Not recklessly, not foolishly, but a little. You can let yourself breathe. Now, if you are thinking, Okay, this is making sense, but what do I do? Do I push this? Do I confront them? Do I dig for the information? The answer is surprisingly simple and likely the hardest thing to do. Nothing. Nothing. Your job right now is to rest. It's to stop mentally running the investigation in your head. It's to stop trying to decode every text message, every word, every silence. Your job is to step back and rest in the not knowing. The energy is telling you to give them the space to finish what they are doing. Trust that process. Trust, just trust. Process is happening even if you cannot see it. It's about honoring the boundary of what you don't know and choosing to be okay with that temporary ignorance. It's about realizing that not knowing the answer right now doesn't mean you are lost or that something is wrong. It's just part of the rhythm of how things are unfolding. And for someone like Jay, who is preparing so carefully, the worst thing you can do is rush into the room and demand they present their work. It would be shatter the delicate trust they are building and cause them to retreat even further. This doesn't mean total passivity. It doesn't mean dimming your own light while you wait. Do not shrink, do not make yourself smaller because you are waiting for someone else to make a move. There might be a version of you right now that's dimming your own light while you wait for the situation with Jay to resolve. Maybe you have pulled back on things that used to make you feel confident and alive, because your energies has been so wrapped up in this waiting game. The healthiest thing you can do while this unfolds isn't to shrink and wait quietly in a corner. It's to keep living loudly. Keep showing up as yourself. Keep doing the things that makes you feel like you. When this truth does come out, and it will, you want to be met as the fullest version of yourself, not a smaller, anxious version who's been waiting by the phone. Keep your power, keep your shine, keep your life moving. There is a question likely hanging in the back of your mind. Is this good news or bad news? Is this something I'm going to celebrate, or is it something I'm going to need time to process? And look, truth is truth. It cannot be messy. It can be messy. It can be beautiful all the same time. But what is coming through points to a truth that's warm, clear, and unmistakably positive. It suggests a joy that comes without complications, a truth revealed without shame attached to it. This hidden thing is not something meant to hurt you. It might be something I was scared to say because they didn't know how you'd react. But the fear was about your reaction, not about the truth itself being ugly. The heaviness of this whole situation comes from the fear of your reaction, not from the content of the secret. So, if you have been bracing yourself, if a part of you has been quietly preparing for betrayal or bad news or the confirmation of your worst fears, loosen that grip a little. Trust your intuition, because your God knows things that no one can see. But the energy here points to something that heals rather than harms. Heals rather than harms. It's a transformation. It's a shedding of a heavy layer. And more importantly, a huge part of this is about letting go of a burden that was never really yours to carry in the first place. The emotional weight of Jay's silence, the burden of feeling like you have to decode and fix it. That is not your job. You have been carrying their emotional weight in the silence, and you need to put it down. You are allowed to simply exist in your own life while this unfolds around you. You don't have to carry both your own weight and theirs at the same time. There is a crush and weight that doesn't belong to you. Cry. Let them carry what's theirs. Let them finish their work. Let them process continue. Let the process continue. We started with a person who had pulled away to figure something out, who was in the middle of a quiet internal war, overwhelmed by choices, moved away from something painful, and we are ending here at a place of relief, of joy, or things finally settling into the shape they were always meant to take. It all leads to a relief. And if this video found you, and I mean really found you, if that letter J has been sitting in your chest like a stone you cannot quite put down, trust that this isn't a coincidence. You didn't stumble onto this video by accident. Something in you needed to hear that the waiting has a shape, that it has an end, that whatever's been hidden isn't hidden to punish you. It's hidden because someone else is still finding the courage to say it out loud. The silence isn't a sentence. It's a delay. The wait is a harbinger of change coming, not a permanent stop. And now you are allowed to release the wait and just be present in your own life. Just be present in your own life.